What is going on today, guys? Tomcat here, and today we are back for some more online drifting in Forza 5. Now, in this episode, we're going to be using my Charger SRT8, and as you can probably tell at this point, this is a post-recorded commentary, not a live commentary, because you guys are watching a replay, and I am recording this commentary in Sony Vegas instead of when I'm actually playing the game. But there's a reason for that, and that reason is called mic interference, and basically what happened was I had tried to get all the mics under control, and yeah, right off the track. But I tried to get all the mics under control before before the session started. But the way Forza 5's online works, they cut you off from being able to select certain profiles after the countdown timer has reached a certain point. And if anybody joins with a loud mic after that point, then you have pretty much nothing you can do. So, but again, there's actually kind of a, I mean, yeah, it didn't allow me to do a live comm, but it allowed me to show you guys the replay instead, which I enjoy showing replays. I enjoy watching replays because, especially now that I don't really do that many replays anymore, it's kind of refreshing to just sit down and watch a replay every once in a while, because you can really look at your own line and look at your own technique in a way that you wouldn't really be able to in just practicing. You know, if you're just practicing, then yeah, you feel the improvement, but you don't really see it. Or you can feel what you're doing, what you might be doing wrong, but you don't necessarily see what that looks like. So if you don't watch your own replays very often, I suggest doing it, because you'll learn a lot about yourself and a lot about how you drive in Forza, or if you're a drifter, how you drift in Forza. And it's also a really good way to study tandeming lines and certain lines around a track, and pretty much anything that you would want to be a little bit more in tune with to take your driving up a notch, and then up another notch, and then up another notch, because that's how it works. Because over time, you'll get more and more accustomed to the way your preferred car is going to respond. You'll get more used to the all the different tracks in the game. You'll get more used to your own tune, and you'll learn how to mess with your own tune and figure out what works and what doesn't work for you. And that's a big thing too, is that a lot of people try to go out and just get a tune, and that can work for a little while, but at a certain point you're going to want more. You're going to want to go beyond just a basic tune. You're going to want to make that your own tune. And that's why I highly suggest just messing around with the tuning setups in the first place. Take a baseline tune. You can take it from anybody. You can take it from me, you can take it from another Forza YouTuber. You can take a baseline tune from anybody you want. And really from there, it's up to you to start experimenting with suspension settings, like camber, caster, toe, really everything that you would want to experiment with, even ride height. Some people don't like to go all the way down for their drift builds. Like, Forza obviously doesn't let you go all the way to the ground or slam your car or anything like that, which is why I just go all the way down anyway, because it just keeps the car a lot more composed, and it takes away a lot of body roll, which is definitely something you want when you're drifting, because it allows you to have that little bit of extra control. And especially in something like this Charger, where you're going to have just some built-in body roll anyway, it's nice to be able to get rid of as much of that as possible. Now, if you're doing something like a jelly drift build or something like that, then yeah, you want as much body roll as you could possibly get. Who wouldn't? If you're doing a jelly build or something like that. But I came so close to taking out my entire score on that one damn corner. I came so close to, like, just wiping my whole score out. And trust me, when you get that close to a wall, but you don't hit it, well, I hit that one, but I'm talking about the one previously. When you get that close to a wall and don't hit it, you feel so accomplished when you pull out of that slide, that it's probably one of the best feelings you'll have in Forza. But this particular corner is one of the weirdest, craziest lines in... I mean, it looks really simple from up top. it looks insanely simple from up top. But in practice, it's really hard to judge that corner. Unless you've done this track like a million times, it is a really hard corner to judge right there. And if you don't know how to place the car exactly right, especially if you're in a car that you don't use very often, like this Charger, it's not one of my go-to cars. It's not one of the cars I'm in all the time. And if you're trying to judge that corner in a car you don't use a lot, then I had a nice tandem going with this S2000. We kind of messed it up at the end, but it was good while it lasted. Anyway, if you have a car that's really familiar to you and you're going at that corner, it's gonna be a little bit better for you, but you're still gonna need to practice it a hell of a lot. Now, I remember back in Forza 4, I did a lot of reverse entry practice on, I think it was Sunset Peninsula, I want to say? I think? Oh yeah, just kind of doing a little rally driving. Anyway, like, for example, Sunset Peninsula was a place where I practiced, I think it's Sunset Peninsula anyway, was where I practiced a lot of reverse entries and 90-degree entries and things like that. And I really, really, really got used to that track. And that was one of those tracks where I knew exactly how the car was going to react to every little motion. And then, when I would switch over to another track, though, it would be a lot different, and I would have to get used to it in a whole different way. That's why you can't really judge someone's, I guess you could say, overall skill level based on one track, because they could be, like, a king on one track, but if they go to another track, they might not be so good at another track, which, I could be completely honest with you, that's the way I am with a lot of tracks. There are some tracks that I feel like I'm really good at, I feel really confident with, and there are some other tracks where that feeling is not so much there. I don't know, it's hard to describe. It's hard to describe how you can be really good on one track and not so good on some others, but that's why you kind of have to take an average when you're trying to judge your own skill with drifting. Is if you're doing really well on one track, switch it up, go somewhere else, and practice your skills there. That's going to really round out your skill set, which is what you want or at least if you're trying to be like a well-rounded drifter, which I think is that would be what I would recommend to somebody. But if you want to, if you want to spend time on just one track, that's fine too. There's no quote-unquote rules about what to do, because I feel like even with the whole rear-wheel drive versus all-wheel drive debate, honestly, if you enjoy rear-wheel drive, do rear-wheel drive. If you enjoy all-wheel drive, do all-wheel drive. I'm going to just come right out and say, I have no problem with people that, quote-unquote drift all-wheel drive. Because I've tried it, and it's got its own learning curve, its own learning characteristics. I personally found it harder than rear-wheel drive, but that was only because I started on rear-wheel drive. If I had started on all-wheel drive, I'm sure it would be the opposite. But anyway, if you guys enjoyed this little discussion and this online drift run, don't forget to leave me a like. Tell me in the comment section down below what you guys thought of it. And if you're new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe for more, and I will see you guys in the next one. Talk to you guys later.